Hello, Ducks fans. Welcome back to another episode of the Quack Report, where we are here to talk about Ducks hockey. But first of all, I'm going to complain about how cold my tea is.
Right as you said, the message in the private chat was when I clicked it. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, I was like going to have a sip of my tea while we waited for the countdown, or for Nate to start all the things. And I was like, this is cold. Like, as soon as I picked up, I was like, this needs to be heated up. So I was like, typed it in the chat, just gonna go heat up my tea, and Nate was like, no, you're fucking not, and then started playing the intro.
Drink your cold tea.
Yeah.
God damn it.
It's not even iced tea either. It's like it's supposed to be hot, and it's not. So
yeah,
I mean, fault is mine because I made it and then took 2 sips and left it for like an hour or whatever. But
that's the worst, because it's like too hot at first, right? And then you like leave it to cool, and then it's too cold, and you're like, God damn it. So.
Yeah, you put it in the microwave, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be perfect, and then it steams up your glasses and burns your tongue.
Exactly. It's a never-ending battle.
Yeah. I've always wanted like one of those like little hot plate type of things, not like a normal hot plate, but like it's just it's a mug warmer. Yeah,
you set your mug on it, and it keeps your drink at like the right temperature, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I always want one of those, but like I've just never bought one for myself. Like I see them, I'm like, oh, that's sick, and then I look, and it's like $30, and I'm like, yeah, but I have a microwave, so one day.
One day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's anyways, how's your tea or coffee? I guess you're more of a coffee guy.
I just have water, honestly, in here with like,
I hope it's hot.
Mio. No.
Yeah.
I hope
like it's the opposite of what you want it to be.
I got this cup from my girlfriend's sister for Christmas. It's like a 30-ounce like it's another like one of those tumbler kind of ones, right?
Yeah.
This thing's fucking amazing, because here, let me just like go full on here. You got the straw, right?
Okay.
You can have if the straw's out, you can close it up and have like the sip.
This isn't an ad, by the way. This
isn't an ad.
Straight up Nate being impressed with his cup.
Yeah, and then you can close that little thing as well and have it be for gulp is what it said. So you get 3 different ways you can drink out of this one cup, apparently.
Nice.
So, and I straight up use it for like water with like flavor shots in it, and pouring pop into it, because you can put 2 cans of pop into this.
Nice.
So, yeah. So, just so much like Coke cereal that pretty much going into it. So, but it keeps it cold then, right?
Yeah. So. No, that's good. Yeah. I for Christmas I got one of those like Yeti coolers. Like, you can get like the beer koozies, just like the foam things or whatever. But I got like one of those Yeti ones that basically turns your can into like a thermos, and
nice.
I fucking love that, because
it's so good.
Just like with coffee and tea and other hot beverages, I open a can of something and I take a couple sips, and then I leave it, and then it goes from cold to warm, and then you just have like warm sparkling water or pop or whatever. And it's awful. I can never just like have a beverage be a satisfying temperature, but now with like the I actually like have the can holder thing. Yeah. Now that I have the can holder thing, it's metal koozie. I don't know what to call it. It's
sure. Metal koozie.
Nice. Can I get that one more time, but like full screen?
I don't even know if I can do it again.
But anyways, that's who knew that we were going to talk about cans for the first few minutes?
Yeah, we're talking about this is the cup podcast now.
Beverages, yeah.
I feel like this needs to be a segment actually on the Soda Pod, which is fitting as well, because we're going to talk about the game versus the Wild.
It's true.
So
yeah, hey, we're tying it back. Nice, I like that. Yeah, we got a few things to talk about here, like the Minnesota Wild game, the Blackhawks game. Going to talk more about trade offers for Jacob Chikrin. Nobody tells Sporty with Corey and Richie, though. They're upset at us, I think. The Ducks have also...
sorry, you guys. We're sorry.
The Ducks have also hit the halfway point of their season, so we're going to do a little recap on the first half of the season here, and as well as talk about the usual things that are at the bottom of the outline that we have that we're not going to follow, that I don't feel like scrolling to. So
yeah, there you go.
So yeah. Well, we're only like 5 minutes in here. We don't need to talk about Ducks and games yet. Yeah. How's your week been? I didn't even ask that. I just complained about how cold my tea is.
It's been all right. I realized I was behind like 2 assignments in one class, which it's not a
dude. We're like a week in.
I know. once I realized though that the assignments were only like 1% each, I'm like, okay, I'm not as torn about it anymore. I'll make that up, kind of thing. That's like, god damn it. But yeah, you're right. We're like a week in, and I'm like, how? What? No. Like this shouldn't be a thing. But
yeah, one of my favorite memes that I see posted like pretty much like immediately after New Year's every year, which is like a few days before classes start. It's like, I know classes haven't started yet, but just so that you know, you've already missed a test and you're behind 3 assignments and you don't have enough sleep. And it's like, yeah,
the sleep thing has been me lately. I've just not been able to like really catch up. Like you know me, it's hard for me to sleep in, and I've actually been sleeping in lately, and I haven't been staying up very late either. Like I think there was only one time this week that was maybe like 1:30. Other than that, it's like midnight kind of deal, and I'm still just sleeping in late. So
you're getting old.
Apparently,
that's gotta be it. Yeah, or you're hitting second puberty. Or maybe third puberty. I don't know which one you're on now.
It's probably a combination of all three. Let's be honest here. But what about you? What I don't know. What'd you get up to? Are you behind in any classes already, or what?
No, not yet.
No, you're the goody two shoe. You're never behind on shit.
No. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm on top of things either, but
you're never behind on schoolwork. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, there we go. That's a better way of putting it. No, I'm not behind yet. Honestly though, I haven't had any assignments. It's just all been like, here's the course outline, here's the review of what we talked about in the last course. Like, that's it. So,
dude, I wish I've had 2 quizzes already. Another one's open already, and like 2, 3, 4 homework assignments. I'm just like, god damn it.
Oh boy.
For a split second, I considered dropping a class, but I'm like, that's just gonna put me so much farther back actually that I can't even afford to. So
yeah, just get it done. Get out of there as quick as you can.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
I've already been here for 7 goddamn years. I'm a career student at this point.
Yeah. What's another 3 or 4 more, right?
Exactly.
You can worry about student loans later.
Don't even remind me about that.
Okay, sorry.
I looked at that and I'm like, oh, this is not going to be fun.
Yeah. Well, before Nate enters an existential crisis here,
we'll talk about something else that wasn't fun.
Yeah, we'll get into some more upsetting things here, like Ducks hockey. So let's start with the Minnesota Wild game. It was a wild game, that's for sure.
But
I was thinking more like
yeah.
Especially because we let in just a casual 7 goals.
Yeah,
the Wild 7-3 loss for those that don't remember or haven't been staying on top of Ducks hockey,
or purposely chose to forget.
That too. Yeah. Not really. I mean, it's hard to say like if this was just a bad game all around, which I'm on the side of, but also you could make the argument that it was a bad 2 minutes to start the third period when we let in 3 goals.
It was both, and like I'm struggling on if I should be upset about this game because we are still missing guys. Like,
yeah.
And this is jumping ahead just a little bit, but I had it screenshotted here. Like for last night's game against Chicago, was missing Gibson, Terry, Milano, Fowler, Henrique, Jones, Benoit, Mahura, and Stolarz. That's for the Chicago game.
Yeah, and really, you just take out Fowler and Stolarz from that list, and that was our roster on against Minnesota, right?
And Milano got hurt partway through that game.
Oh, right.
We didn't have Gibson either. Still no Henrique, right? So like, depleted roster, and like that's what's making this a struggle of like, hey, we are losing. But yes, we're still technically sitting second wild card spot. Jesus, sorry, we're in third spot now in the Pacific Division. We're still in a playoff spot, yes, but even with this depleted roster, that sort of thing, like we got teams that are like games in hand on us that are gonna eclipse us if we can't get back to where we were playing soon. Like this is a little bit panic time, but not fully not really the players' fault at the same time, right? Which is gonna make this year just really interesting again.
Yeah.
So, and it's not just us; it's happening to
no.
I'll give some leeway here. To a point, this is even happening to the Edmonton Oilers, right, with losing guys and stuff like that too. But then again, they've also just truly fallen off the face of the fucking earth.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like other teams that were hit with this, like Vegas early on, I guess, with COVID a little bit, but it was more so injuries, I think.
The Islanders are one of them. Like they were
the Islanders
conference finalists last year, and
Yeah.
like I don't know where they're sitting now, but I know
they're
not in a great
seven.
spot.
They're sitting seventh for the wild card seating.
Yeah, so that's not where I expect. We'll get to that later, but that's not where I expected.
And they also had like the massive road trip to start the season, like what, 15 games, I think, because they were.
Oh, that's true too.
They're doing the finishing touches on their new arena, right?
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a struggle no matter what, right? So this is just an interesting year, and
it's almost easier to list the teams that haven't really been affected by it, and I can't even think of who that would be. Like,
even remove like the Shea Weber and Carey Price thing. You got Montreal, like having guys who were playing in the ECHL this season, like to start the year being like middle six guys suddenly, right? So
exactly.
And that's kind of happening to us right now. Luckily, it's not ECHL guys, but the joke is right now that it's the San Diego Ducks, right? Because you got so many call ups, and there's guys who wouldn't normally be playing. So like this is kind of the rock and the hard place I'm in right now with this team. Is like, yes, they're not playing great. We've lost, like looking at our last 10, we're 2-6-2 on a 3-game losing streak right now, but we are missing like a solid chunk of our team that helps produce and do things on the back end, right? So it's like, what do you make of this team? Like,
yeah, exactly. It's tricky because, I mean, I think you do still have to place it on the team as a whole to some extent, because
they still have to play.
This is, exactly. And we still have NHL guys in the lineup, but I think it just really speaks to our lack of depth. Like back when we were healthy at the beginning of the season, and like every guy that deserved to be in the NHL and was an NHL player or had earned that spot in training camp, they were playing to the NHL level, and that was our roster. Everybody
was looking good.
Everyone was in the spot where they thrived. Like someone with a bottom pairing defenseman potential was in that bottom pairing spot. But now with all these guys out, our lack of depth, I think, really shows. Like we don't have guys that are able to step up into those higher positions when injuries and COVID happen. Like our
but
top
even
line,
then, I don't think you're expecting to have like 8 guys out.
No,
on a regular basis, right? So like,
I
don't even know if I'd put that on the depth necessarily, right? It's because you're normally thinking, okay, 3-4 guys at worst is your typical season, right?
Typically, yeah. Like you lose any more than that, and obviously you have guys.
You're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah, but like look at the guys we have out right now. Like even before Stolarz and Cam Fowler, we'll leave them off the list. Like John Gibson, yes, losing your starting goaltender is a big hit. Adam Henrique and Troy Terry, top 6 guys. Jones, Mahura, and we'll throw Milano in there. Middle 6 guys, I would say.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to, but like you still have Getzlaf, Raquel, Comtois, Zegras, Silverberg in the lineup. Like that's still 4 of a solid top 6, in my opinion. So like you should be able to find guys that you can call up from the AHL to fill those holes. But but for us, it's like you call up those guys, you put them in a bottom 6 role, like the bottom 6 guys that move up, like they're not really able to step into those roles. Like, I'm sorry, Delorier is a great bottom 6 guy, but his play style just doesn't work in the top 6.
No, it doesn't.
Same with Sam Steele, same with Buddy Robinson, same with Derek Grant, like solid bottom 6 guys. But when you put them in the top 6 role, they suck. They disappear. So that when I say lack of depth, that's kind of, I guess, what I mean is like we don't have those guys that can step
up. Yeah.
And I think the good teams have those guys that waiting in the wings or playing in a bottom 6 role that can take that step up. Like let's take a look at Carolina for a second, because they were the first solid team that just came to mind. They don't have a ton of guys out right now. Jake Gardner, Antti Raanta, Jacob Slavin. But like you look at their bottom 6, Nino Niederreiter, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Jordan Martinook. That's their bottom Like that's their fourth
That
line.
Sorry, I'm still laughing at that Kotkaniemi thing. That's gonna suck for them because I think they have to minimum qualify him for that $6 million now.
They do, yeah, yeah. It sucks.
That's gonna suck.
Yeah,
He's been doing great in that third line position for them though. But
yeah,
you don't want to be paying a third line guy $6 million a year.
no, yeah, he does play. Yeah, he does play on the top power play or what second power. He does usually play on a power play unit. Okay. They don't have him there for daily faceoff right now, but Niederreiter and Kotkaniemi are guys that can step up to those top six roles. Like they play a physical game, but they're also highly skilled guys.
Yeah.
Third line: Steven Lorentz, Jordan Staal, Jesper Fast. Like skilled third liners, but in the short term can jump up to that top pairing or top six role. We'll just leave it there because I think I made my point. But yeah, in my opinion, and I mean West and East is different as well. But in my opinion, that's the difference between our team and a good team. Or let's say our team and a great team because I think we have a good team. But
yeah, and what were we even saying before? Like when this team was doing well, right? We don't think it's a contending team yet, right? There is still work to be done to this roster.
Absolutely.
This isn't the team that would normally win you a cup, I don't think. So
yeah, I mean it's possible. You just you
get to the
playoffs, and you just go on a 16-game run.
Yeah, you never know, but it's all about just the right goalie and the right team getting hot at the right moment. That's really what the playoffs are. Like, unfortunately, but fortunately in a way. But this is not a team that I would expect to have that really. So yeah, like it's just kind of stuck in the middle of like this team should be better, but understanding that so many guys are out right now that made it good, right? So I don't know. Yeah. That's where we just have to lower our tempers a little bit here, especially on hockey Twitter. I'm seeing a few people get like really hyped up, and it's like, guys, just hold on a second here, okay? Let's just relax for 2 seconds. If this continues when we have everybody back, then be upset. Then it's warranted, I think, at this point. But until then, right? Like until we have those guys back, we are playing with the San Diego Ducks essentially. So let's just calm her down for a moment here.
The most rational take I've seen, which was on Reddit, amongst the general blow up the team, fire Eakins.
What? It was on
Reddit. Also rationality on Reddit is wild. But I saw one, and it was basically that like this team relied so much on just line chemistry. And we talked about that. Like the Terry and who the fuck was he playing with? Getzlaf and Raquel,
Getzlaf,
Getzlaf. Like that line was solid. Like Terry and Getzlaf had that chemistry. Like you could see Getzlaf was making those passes that he was making in his prime to like guys like Corey Perry. Zegras and Milano had that chemistry early on where they just knew where each other was.
That one. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. That's who it was. And it was it Henrique that was with Terry and Getzlaf? I think it was.
I believe so, yeah.
A good chunk of it anyways.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, you could just see the line chemistry there, and that's what was effective. But then as soon as we lost a couple guys to COVID and you couldn't keep those lines how they were, everything fell apart. So so obviously line chemistry is really good and you want to have that, but you can't rely on it entirely. You still need to have the guys that can fill in those holes. So so I think that's where I think that's what this team has done well, or the management and coaching of this team is like building lines that work well together. And like, this is your role. This is what you do on this line, and it works. So.
Yeah, just got to try to keep them together as much as possible, right? Like obviously, you get COVID and injuries, that happens. But when those guys come back, try to keep it that way. If it's working, try to keep it that way, right? Don't just shake it up for the sake of it, right? So
one benefit of I hate saying benefit of COVID, but like because obviously it sucks, but like
I get to be home more. Well, that's the benefit of COVID. I don't have to put on pants.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like the NHL though, like when you test positive for COVID, when you come back, you don't have to test at all for 3 months.
Yeah.
So, or is it 180 days? No, it's not.
3 months.
Well, 3 months is 90 days.
Yeah. So
either way, but 3 months,
and that's not just an NHL thing as well. That was at least where we're living in Alberta. That was the same thing there as well. Basically, I'm not a doctor or scientist by any means, but my understanding that was explained to me by the nurses or that sort of thing was that like it still kind of stays in your system. It's not contagious at that point. Like once it's kind of through your system, it's not contagious, but it's still just in your system. So if you say if you had gotten sick with just like a cold or something like that after having had COVID, and you go and get tested, it's going to show up for COVID because it's technically still in your system. So
even though you have a cold, not
yeah.
COVID,
So like last December, not the December we just had. Jesus, that was like 2020 December, I guess at this point.
Yeah.
Man, time's a fucking blur at this point. But that's what they had told us. They're like, if you get any similar symptoms like within 3 months after, so basically from January to March of 2021 for us, they were like, just don't get tested, just stay home because it's going to show up positive, and it's even though that's not what it would be at that point. So
yeah. So like really that we're fine. Like the Ducks will be fine for pretty much the rest of the season if the season ends in April. Obviously, then playoffs hit. Maybe we do a bubble at that point, or Omicron has died out. We'll see what happens. But so I got this like weird shadow on my face, or like light on my face from my lights. I'm trying to figure out where to sit. But this is like when I lean. Oh no, here I'll just lean in closer. Okay.
Yeah.
So really, February, March, April, season ends end of April. Like we're gonna have pretty much a healthy roster since everybody on our roster has tested positive for COVID at this point. So that's kind of one benefit, I guess, is that once we get those guys back, we're good. We don't have to deal with this for 3 months, and we'll just have 95% of our roster for the rest of the season, and we can actually see what this team is capable of in a full 3-month sample size, barring injuries, of course. But that's I think that's kind of a good thing in a way.
It's a
good thing that it's hit us now. Yeah. Like if it was going to hit us at any point, now is the time.
Yeah. No, I do agree to a point. I mean, obviously it sucks no matter what.
Yeah, for sure.
So sorry, I was gonna say something and I don't know where else. Can we just go to like the next point?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I had made a joke here in the outline that it was another Russian returning for a multi-point night, his first game back. Not nearly as long, but Kirill Kaprizov coming back after being hurt for a little bit, and he scores 2 points against us. I was just like, God damn it. All right.
Yeah, they figured out the Ducks' kryptonite is Russians returning from injury.
Apparently.
That's it. So,
but yeah, and sorry to go back to, I guess, a little bit to the roster. Like the defense was really lacking tonight or that night. And that was a defensive game that, again, I know the defense was depleted, but it felt like a defensive game from last year. It was not fun to watch, and I felt bad for Stolarz because there was maybe, especially in the third period, there's one or two that he should have had, but everything else was like him battling the entire time, and the defense just not really giving a whole lot of help. And he's
there was no help. So. There was no help in front of the net until at least until the puck was already in. Then guys started to show up. I really noticed that as well. I do personally place some of the blame on Stolarz, like you said in the third period.
Yeah, there's a couple of goals. Yeah,
like I'm sorry, you should not let in 2 goals. Well, first of all, you shouldn't let in 3 goals in 2 minutes. That's you got to figure that out. But
that
from what I remember,
one of like the 4 seconds, where it's like off the draw and like a slap from like not even the circles yet.
Yeah, that one, and there was one other. There was one other one at that point for sure. That it was just one of those random shots from the outside, like that shouldn't have gone. In. Like you were in position, dude. What happened? And it just made like that. I don't know. That's the issue for me with Stolarz is after a few games of being the starting goalie is he starts to let in those weak ones from the outside. And I don't know if it gets into his head or what it is, but at some point he just hits a decline and it's like falling off a fucking cliff. Like he's solid for 2 or 3 games and then it's fucking.
Yeah. Everybody has a rough night too. And like, even then I wouldn't say that game was like a fall off the cliff type one, right? Because
No.
there was a lot of it that he was playing really well.
No, it was the third period that he fell off the cliff.
Third period that he fell off the cliff, right?
The first two was awesome, yeah.
But like when you're standing on your head like that, we've talked about this before. When you're standing on your head like that, though, and you're just not getting the help that you need, right? Yeah, it's not going to be a fun time for you or the rest of the team, right? Because yeah, probably you're going to be having goals against you that because it's a little hard to play 5-on-0 in a way, right? Like as much as the other guys are there, it's not. If they're not helping, there's no point of them being on the ice, kind of deal. So
yeah, exactly. I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit as well because I thought he was worse in the Chicago game, but Josh Manson had a rough couple games.
Yeah,
like every time there was a goal scored, he was on the ice and he was not in position. I was like, what the where? Like, figure it out, man.
This is your job, dude. Where the fuck are you?
Yeah, exactly. And it was always like he was kind of in front of the net, but he wasn't in front. He wasn't defending against anybody.
Yeah,
he was just there, and I'm like, no, take a man.
Assignments.
There's 2 or 3 Wild or Blackhawk players in front of the net, and you're not taking any of them. And oh look, they scored.
Yeah,
color me surprised. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I was not happy with his performance. And I mean, look at the roster. We were expecting him to play top line minutes with Brendan Gooley. I noticed he played a little bit with. I noticed he played a little bit with Jacob Larson. I think that was in the Wild game as well.
Sorry, can we just stop for a second? That's how you know it's bad when it's Manson and Gooley as your top defensive pairing.
Yeah, I mean, Daily Faceoff has Lindholm and Drysdale as the second pairing. I think it's safe to say that's your first pairing, but we'll say second pairing Gooley Manson. No thanks. Yeah. And then Larson Shattenkirk as your other pairing, like that doesn't really instill confidence in me either. No, Shattenkirk's had a great season so far, but not that great of a season.
Yeah, so. I don't know. The last negative thing I guess to talk about here, it's not even negative against the team or anything like that. I typically enjoy the song Shout.
Love it.
But I'd be okay to not hear for a while after that Minnesota game.
7 times in 2.5 hours is
no thanks.
About 6 too many times.
I'm
I think.
Good. The next time would be the next wedding that I go to, and even then, who knows when that's going to be. So
yeah, right.
I am okay to not listen to that song for a little bit. So
yeah, absolutely.
The main positive thing I had coming out of this game though was Comtois having a multi-point night.
Yeah, that was good.
He had a goal and an assist in there, right? I believe the assist was on the Zegras goal, the third one there.
Yeah, it was.
He looked better, at least. Let's hope this is a start, like of a bit of a pick-me-up on him, right? Because
well, he got his first goal of the season a couple games ago, and then he got this one now. But like, since he got that first goal of the season, got the monkey off his back, like he's showing a little bit more step and like a little bit more confidence. Like I wouldn't have expected him to shoot the puck from where he was, say, before that first goal. Like, he wouldn't have had that confidence, but like on this goal in this game, shooting from there was, really good shot. But like, it's not one of those ones that you normally expect to go in, but just throw the puck on the net, goes in, sick. Yeah, he was pumped. Like, I just hope we see more of that. And then I think we'll see that, 16 goal pace come back that he was on. Or he got 16 goals last season. I think it was 16.
16 in a short season. Also.
Yeah, exactly. And the Ducks weren't great then either. No. So I think we'll start to see a few more goals from him.
Let's hope.
Maybe give Terry some run for his money on goal scoring leader for the Ducks. But
yeah, that'd be all right. Which sorry. Okay, I'm jumping a little bit. It's not even something on here, but I realized John Gibb. I'm sorry. I'm going a bit into news, and then we'll get to the Chicago game a little bit here, quick. John Gibson making the All-Star team. Yeah, that's fucking great. I'm gonna.
Troy Terry was fucking snubbed.
We're gonna talk about the All-Star game for a bit here, actually, and then we can go back to Chicago because there's one thing I want to talk about with Chicago. Or do you want me to talk Chicago first? Tell me what.
We're already talking All-Star game.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's do that.
Okay, I understand maybe the logic behind having John Gibson, right? Because you look around the rest of the Pacific Division, you're definitely not going to be sending Mikko Koskinen or Mike Smith, who's played 4 games this season. He's been hurt otherwise.
Yeah.
So that's Edmonton. You're already sending Demko. Jonathan Quick would maybe have been your other option.
It'd be okay,
for goaltending, right? He's been having a pretty good season this year.
Markstrom's injured, right? That's why he
it's Yeah, it's sounding like he might be having a little bit of something, which is why Johnny Gaudreau is going instead, which that's not a bad pick either, though, by any means.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
Too.
But I just know how good Markstrom was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
So
I had shared Markstrom's stats as well compared to Gibson and Demko, like the two goalies that are going. And yeah, it has to be a behind the scenes thing of, hey, we're not sure kind of thing. And that's why we don't want, like, the Flames not wanting him to go, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then what? You have Grubauer in Seattle. That's definitely not fucking happening.
No.
You already have Pietrangelo and Stone from Vegas going, right? Instead of Leonard, which
Leonard hasn't been fantastic.
He hasn't been fantastic, but that would have been a sweet one to have at least. Who am I missing here? Oh, you're not sending the San Jose goalies by any means.
Or I guess Coyotes are Central now. Never mind.
Yeah, so John Gibson is kind of that last guy, but unfortunately that does snub Troy Terry and Trevor Zegras, right?
Yeah.
Like listening to the 32 Thoughts podcast, they were talking, they were focusing more on Zegras than they were Terry. And which I agree. They were talking about Terry being the more deserving, maybe, which I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Considering the season he's had and stuff like that. Well, he's got 22 goals on the season right now. Like that's fucking great. But they were discussing how, just the Dishigan goal, that's what I'm calling it, the Dishigan, did more for NHL marketing than any marketing team could ever come up with.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. With the All-Star game being for the fans and being like,
that's the kind of guy.
Look at all the wild shit that we're doing at the All-Star game. Exactly.
And I don't know about you. I am not a fan anymore of we're going to send one guy from every team thing, because you got, like, who the fuck is even going for LA again? Like, it's not an all-star by any means.
Yeah,
not to pick on LA, but that's just the first one that came to mind.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, like, nobody from the Coyotes deserves to be named to the all-star team this year.
Yeah, it's Clayton Keller. And like,
which if you're gonna pick somebody from the Coyotes, you're gonna pick Clayton Keller,
because that's the only guy that's maybe, somewhat capable besides Jacob Chikrin.
You can't tell me that Clayton Keller gets to go before Troy Terry. And man, no wonder the Sporty Show hates us. Like, we always just shit on the Coyotes, but like, you can't tell me that Keller deserves to go over Terry and Zegras, just to name two Ducks players.
Okay, here we'll no pun intended, centralize that for a second here. Clayton Keller doesn't deserve to go more than Nazem Kadri does.
No, absolutely
by
not.
any means.
No.
And I get it. Colorado's already sending two guys, but that's the point of the fucking All-Star game.
Yeah. Fuck, send the whole Colorado team to play for the Central. I don't give a shit.
Like,
they're the best now.
Look in the East, and Steven Stamkos is on the last man in ballot for Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Steven Stamkos, who is having another like hell of a year.
He has almost 50 points on the season, and Tampa's played like less than 40 games. It's unbelievable.
Sidney Crosby's not even, and that might be another thing of like, hey, I don't want to go, or that sort of thing. But like, Sidney Crosby's not even listed for the last man in. It's Jake Gensel. Not to say that Tristan Jarry isn't deserving though.
No,
right?
He's had an all-star season.
Fantastic year, and we talked about this, on the last episode, because we were talking about the Pittsburgh game. Like, I've seen a couple of his games now, right, with the Ducks and playing the Flames as well. The one being in person, that guy is more than deserving to go to the All-Star game as a goaltender. Absolutely, right. And I'm not taking that away from Jarry, but like, you don't have Sidney Crosby going. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, like the All-Star game needs. I understand the idea of the 3-on-3. You make it fun and that sort of thing, and try to make it a bit more fast paced. But like, those guys are just out there for a skate. Like, make it the 5-on-5 again.
Oh yeah.
Have the full teams and have the guys that are actually deserving of going, instead of trying to do the push of the like one guy from each team.
Yeah.
And if it was the NHL's choice as well for the Pacific Division, if you're the NHL, who are you pandering to this year?
In the Pacific? Oh, you're pandering to Seattle and Vegas because they're your favorite. But
so who you're sending. If you're the NHL and you have the choice of who to send, instead of making it a fan vote, you're sending Mark Giordano there.
Yeah.
Which, And I'm a Gio fan, and I'm going,
He's not an all-star this season. No. Who did they send from Seattle?
Jordan Eberle.
Okay, that makes sense.
So,
he's having a pretty solid season.
He's having a solid season.
And if you have to pick someone from Seattle, like,
that's the guy to go with. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this send one guy from each team thing anymore because it does actually remove the legitimate stars from the game.
Yeah.
They were talking on there though that it would be nice, say like the NBA All-Star game, where you still, even if the All-Star guys aren't necessarily on the ice, like laced up and playing, to have guys like Sidney Crosby, or they were specifically talking about Trevor Zegras being at the game still, right? Like being in the atmosphere and everything like that. And they brought up an idea of like, if you were to throw Zegras on a headset during the broadcast to like comment,
that would be hilarious.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Oh man,
I'd love that. And that just makes it more enjoyable for the fans, right? This whole thing is supposed to be it's basically just for fans and sponsors. Otherwise, this thing wouldn't be a thing, right? The All-Star game. So make it more enjoyable for the fans by doing stuff like that, right? And listening to the Steve Dangle podcast as well, their host, Adam Wilde, I do like this idea, actually. And you can tell me if you don't think so. He likes the idea, especially with Vegas now being in the league, you have the All-Star game in Vegas every year. Because then it makes it kind of a destination. Players will want to go to Vegas, whether they're playing in the games or not, right? And you kind of make it this big thing, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like, I know that,
I'm sorry,
the
like
awards are already in Vegas and stuff like that, but like just Vegas, remove the team, right? Vegas is obviously a destination place that everybody wants to go to, right? So you make it fun for the players to want to come and stuff like that, and then the fans get to enjoy that too. So I do kind of like the idea. I understand the idea of like moving it around and that sort of thing, but like you have every other game doing that essentially, right? You still have the draft, which I know it's not the same thing as the All-Star game, but just the fan thing of it, right? And it also would bring fans into that area, right? So you can still have, representatives from all the teams kind of thing in terms of fans. Because what fan doesn't want to go to Las Vegas, right? Go watch some hockey and then go get fucked up at a casino. That's a great weekend, right? Like,
yeah, for a hocky fan, yeah, it's fantastic.
Exactly. So like, why not do that? I do like the idea. So
yeah, I think it's got some merit. I don't want to say that it should always be in Vegas, because just to take like the most recent example I can think of St. Louis, like it was still fun in St. Louis. They did a fantastic job. They brought in like the alumni like Al McInnes to do the hardest shot, even though he didn't really. So like it was cool to see like how each city or each market franchise, however you want to put it, kind of does the All-Star game in their own style. And then that way you get like the jerseys that are kind of inspired by like old St. Louis jerseys. Like those were pretty cool, or like they were music inspired anyways. So so that was kind of cool that like they could kind of do a different theme with it each year. But I think there is a point to be made about how fun Vegas is and how big of a market it is. But I think not everybody is going to enjoy going to Vegas for the All-Star game every year. It's kind of cool to move it around. Maybe, I mean, it seems kind of like weird to do Vegas every couple of years. Like Vegas one year, somewhere else the next. Vegas the next year, somewhere else. Vegas somewhere else. Like, I think you would kind of have to pick one, but I don't know. I see the point, but I prefer going to different markets. So
that's fair. It's easy to figure out a way to actually have, the actual stars there. Like besides just the going back to the way it was. This was fun for a little bit, but now it's just it's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
And I know it doesn't always have to appeal to me, right?
Yeah.
But for like
because really they're trying to appeal to the younger hockey fans or the more casual.
But those kids want to see the actual stars of the game, right? They
want to see the guys that they have on the back of their jerseys. Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but there's nobody going there that has a like a Jordan Eberle, or there's very few people going there that have a Jordan Eberle Seattle Kraken jersey.
Yeah.
At least compared to the McDavid jerseys, the Crosby jerseys.
Exactly.
Sorry, like, I don't know. Not to say that there's a ton of Troy Terry jerseys outside of Anaheim, but yeah, you're right. They do want to go and see the exciting players. So my favorite way that they did the All-Star game was when they kind of picked captains for the two teams, and then
that was fun. I like that.
The players actually got to pick because the players know who the all-stars are the best.
Yeah,
like, that's to me that was the best way of doing it. I think my ideal all-star game is like when they do the cutoff for these are the coaches because these are the top teams in the league. They have that same cutoff date. They pick the top player from, if you wanted to do it divisionally, the player with the most points in the Pacific is the captain. The player with the most points in the Central, Atlantic, Metro are the captains of those teams, and then they pick the players from those divisions that they've, obviously played most against at that point, and they pick the all-stars.
I like the fan vote for the captains. I do like that still. That's fine.
Yeah, you could do it that way too.
You're kind of at the point where
trying to come up with a way to this is your captain, kind of give something for. Not that players need an incentive to score more points, but it almost does sort of incentivize the let's get as many points as we can and rack them up sort of thing.
And I mean it is kind of the same guys at this point being the captains, with the fan vote and stuff like that. But that's who the fans want to see, right? So, so for the Pacific Division, representing Edmonton is Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. No shit. The Seattle Kraken is Jordan Eberle. The Calgary Flames is Johnny Gaudreau. The LA Kings is Adrian Kempe.
To be fair, he's had a pretty good season.
He's had a good season, but it's an all-star game season, right?
I don't know
not to shit on the Kings, but I mean, San Jose, you got Timo Meier going, right? Like there's
he's
other
also
guys
had a good season.
He's had a good season, but there's other guys from San Jose even that you could have picked instead.
Yeah. Okay. Kempe only has 24 points in 38 games. I thought he had a lot.
Yeah.
More
What the
than that?
That's not an all-star guy. That's just somebody to represent the Kings. That's all it is.
Which is the issue.
Yeah.
Fuck do you spell Meyer? Never mind.
Meier.
Yeah, we're good. I tried like 2 eyes. And
you got Mark Stone and Alex Pietrangelo from Vegas. John Gibson from Anaheim and Thatcher Demko from Vancouver being the goaltenders.
Mm-hmm. Just because sorry. Let's go LA Kings leaders. I just want to see where Kempe ranks with the Kings because why not send Kopitar? 34 points in 38 games. Why are you sending Kempe? Jesus.
Exactly.
Timo Meier has 40 points in 34 games. So I would consider that.
Okay. That works then.
Yeah, I'd consider that an all-star level. But I mean, why not Logan Couture?
Yeah.
Brent Burns is having an okay season, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
But in addition to Meier, not saying Meier doesn't deserve to go, but yeah, I don't know. Look, just to tie it back to Troy Terry some more here. I know he's on the last man in ballot, which I actually have to submit because I did it the first day it came out and I haven't done it since.
Vote for Troy Terry.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I honestly think out of all the players that are on the last man in ballot, Troy Terry deserves to go the most out of those guys. So I get that it's it gives the fans a little bit more engagement, and then you get to pick the captain and the last guy in. Let's see kind of where the range is. But I don't know. I don't like leaving it up to chance necessarily, because then you just get whoever has the most fans that vote. So in whatever division the Leafs are in, it's going to be the Leafs last man in that gets in. Atlantic. Thank you.
That's the one I'm not too sure about, because you have John Tavares is the last man in for Toronto, but Steven Stamkos is the last man.
Oh, that's the other one. Oh, I guess. Yeah.
So I think that you get that one goes to Stamkos.
I think it should go to Stamkos, but I'm just saying.
Sorry, we fucked up your Olympics again.
Yeah.
Here's an all-star as the last man in. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just saying that there's so many Leafs fans that it's almost guaranteed that Tavares is going to get in at that point. So I don't know. And same with the Pacific. I think there's more Edmonton and Calgary fans than there are for any of the California teams. I think that Anaheim maybe has the least amount of fans out of the California teams. Very passionate fans, but meeting a Ducks fan is very rare. You're going to meet a Kings fan before you meet a Ducks fan. So it just kind of puts you at the disadvantage. If I wasn't, mostly a Ducks fan, I'll say at this point, I wouldn't be voting Troy Terry in. Like I would be voting whoever the Oilers' last man in is. I don't even know. It's probably Nuge. Do you know?
If I'm not mistaken, it's actually Darnell Nurse.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Also, Nuge is injured because I'm an idiot and forgot about that. You're right. It is Nurse.
Is it? I honestly just pulled that off the top of my head. Was I right about that?
Yeah. No, I remember seeing it now. But like,
yeah, it is Darnell Nurse.
Yeah. No, if the Ducks weren't, sorry to say, my number 2 team, or it's a very close. It's Oilers Ducks, especially with how the Oilers are doing right now. But
how the Oilers have been doing for the last 15 years, you mean?
Well, yeah, but not here to talk about all of my mental health issues the Oilers are giving me. So yeah, no, like I would be voting Darnell Nurse over Troy Terry, but because I have watched Troy Terry this season and last season and the season before that, I'm like, okay, no, Troy Terry deserves to go more than Darnell Nurse and whoever the other guys are. So
yeah,
but not many people vote that way. They vote their favorite team. So
yeah, and taking a look at like the Atlantic is another one where it's like guys are being left off to like last man in or that sort of thing. Where other guys are just there to represent their teams, right? Like are you really telling me that Steven Stamkos shouldn't be there, but Nick Suzuki should? That's not to take away from Nick Suzuki. He's having a decent season as well, but
not a Steven Stamkos season.
No, not a Steven Stamkos season.
The dude has almost 50 points in like 30 some games.
Exactly.
Like
or Rasmus Dahlin deserves to be there more than Alexander Barkov.
Yeah, no. Like
no. Or even John Tavares, who's got I think 35 points at this right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's a joke, honestly. Yeah,
it is.
So
if you send the actual stars there for the fun weekend, right?
That's the point we're trying to make.
Because that's otherwise, then you get to that point of you got guys like Ovechkin, who don't want to go, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Or you would guess by Adrian Kempe going, like guys like Anze Kopitar don't want to go, right? They'd rather take the week off.
Yeah.
Or the weekend off, right? So you got to make it fun for them again, right?
Yeah.
Which in turn will make it more fun for the fans. So
yeah. I do want to talk more. I have a couple other points about the All-Star game, but just looking at the time, and we have a few other.
We have not taken a break,
and we have not taken a break. So, but I think because we're still a little bit away from the All-Star game, we'll maybe shelf the conversation for another time. So we'll make some notes. But let's take a quick break, wrap up the Chicago game on the other side, and then power through the rest of the notes we have on the podcast here.
Sounds good.
The NFL playoffs are here, and Draftkings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is kicking things off with a huge offer. Counting down to Super Bowl 56, new customers can get 56-1 odds on any wildcard team to win their game. Bet just $5 and win $280 in free bets if your team is victorious. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, you still have something to play for this wild card weekend. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Football contests. DraftKings is giving all new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. So, what are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now, use the promo code THPN, and get 56-1 odds on any NFL team. Bet just $5 and win $280 in free bets if your team wins. Again, that's promo code THPN, as in the Hockey Podcast Network, this wildcard weekend at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL.
Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, or Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit and $1 wager required. One per customer. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Just want to leave this.
Yes.
Here.
Hashtag
Troy Terry is
very good.
Did
we actually have that in sync? I'd be curious to listen back to that.
I don't know. It sounded off for me, so I don't know.
But it sounded on for I don't know. That's the weird delay thing. So we'll see how that goes.
There's just like a very, very slight delay. Yeah, I'll listen back on it. So, but yeah. Also, I just want to let everyone know that Alex Ovechkin is now just 10 goals behind Jaromir Jagr, or tying Jaromir Jagr for third on the all-time goals list. So
that man will not stop.
No.
It is a question of when at this point. It's not a question of if. It's when.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Especially with a 5-year contract. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, 5 years is really what he needs to do it. He was basically just like, 40 goals a season, maybe throwing a 50 in there and, carry the one and give me 5 years.
Yeah.
And then I guarantee
and Washington,
he's gonna.
Yep. There you go.
I guarantee last game of the season or of his of the regular season, he's gonna score that 95th goal, and then stick salute at center ice, just fucking walk to the dressing room, never play a game again, just fuck off to northern Russia.
Is it 895?
It is, yeah.
That just makes me question though. If you're that close,
do you go to 900?
Do you go to 1,000?
Oh, dude, are you serious? He's gonna.
That's what,
I don't know.
2-3 more years. If he were to continue on a similar pace, that's only 2 or 3 more years.
Oh yeah, I was thinking 800 to 1,000. I was like, you think he can score 200 goals in 2 to 3 years?
No, it's like 105 goals.
Yeah. I guess it really depends.
Is Alex Ovechkin going to be the new Jaromir Jagr, where he just won't quit?
Like you said, it's a question of when. So I think if the when is in the fourth-ish year of that contract, then maybe you finish it out. Do 1-year deals till you hit the 1,000.
Yeah.
Could you imagine 1,000 goals in the NHL?
If he hits the 1,000, he could, do what he was joking that he would do, and he would just skate off and just never step foot on the ice again. That's okay.
Absolutely. With me. Yeah. Dude, I wouldn't even blame him if he scores 1,000 goals, skates to center ice, and just gets naked. You can do whatever the fuck he wants at that point.
Pops a bottle of champagne.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
Go for it.
If you score 1,000 goals in the NHL in your career, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I don't. Yeah. Literally whatever. He could rob a bank, and I would be like, you know what, that guy deserves it. Not that he needs to, with however many millions of dollars he has, but yeah.
Oh man.
Anyways, back to the Chicago game, the 3-0 loss here.
We can go through this one pretty quickly. I got 3 points here.
Okay.
So basically, I just had the defense looked better. The offense just got goalied. Honestly.
Oh, absolutely.
Marc-Andre Fleury played great last night. 70th career shutout. Congrats to him.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to be biased on that one too.
No, it's seriously, yeah.
I'm trying not to be biased on how great he played as well, because he's my favorite goalie kind of thing, right? He played great, and we got goalied. We had 30-some shots, 37 shots against.
And we had some good chances too.
Yeah.
Wow, we're so in sync.
So in sync, but it really just came down to bad puck luck, I think, right? Where we had chances both chances where we nearly scored, it was on the line for the one.
Yeah.
And it just goes back the other way and we get scored on, right? It was just bad puck luck, really, is what last night's game was. But it wasn't a bad game by any means. It was still enjoyable to watch. I thought the Ducks played well, especially a hell of a lot better than Minnesota, which I was a little surprised about, because this was the second half of a back-to-back, right? And Lucas Dostal looked great. So this was his second NHL start, and I was able to watch him a little bit more for this game. I was specifically trying to watch him a bit more for this. And I like what I see, right? He challenges hard, which I absolutely love. He's one of those goalies that will come away.
He comes out very far. Yeah.
But he knows when not to at the same time, but already.
No, even just on the rush, he is at the top of the crease. Sometimes even past. He is.
Oh, he comes well out. Yeah.
Yeah, but he gets back and he gets across quite nicely.
He has that nice balance of athleticism and positioning, right? So honestly, we have 2 games and a throw in there against Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. I'm wondering if we need Stolarz next year, if we want to bring up Dostal. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think
we got some
obviously we're gonna get a lot more
but
looks at Dostal with Stolarz now being put in COVID protocol, and Gibson should be back soon. He could have come back, I think, at earliest on the Friday. Obviously he's still dealing with symptoms, so can't come back quite yet. But our next game's not till Wednesday, so he could be back by then. Dostal still backs up, but But if not,
Eriksson
Dostal is the starter.
Well, so, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like we're still going to get a chance to see some more Dostal as the season goes.
Yeah.
And I think he's deserved to get a few more starts. Not that you want to. Obviously, you're not taking out Gibson, and not that Stolarz is going to be out. But I think we got to give a few more games to Dostal just while he's up and while he's playing well. So
might as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have anything to add. I already
that's really
bitched about Josh Manson. So we're good there. So okay. Where do you want to go from here? Do you want to do some more trade talks, or you want to talk about the Ducks' halfway point of the season?
Let's talk about the halfway point, I think, at this point.
Okay.
Oh, excuse me. Jesus.
7 blessings to you.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, unless you want to talk about this trade idea. Quick.
Well, let's talk about the halfway point for now. So yeah, Ducks are at their halfway point of the season, playing 41 games. So most of the rest of the league is not. They're like mid to late 30s, but so they're getting close. So it's not really the halfway point of the season, but halfway point of the Ducks season. So we're gonna do some comparisons on our division predictions here. So I really hope if that when you go to the NHL website, you can sort by points percentage, because I think that's a better way of doing this than points at this point.
Yeah, just because every team is so wild at this point.
Yeah. Division. Oh yeah, you can. Okay, just not on the app. Okay, cool. So, looking at the top 3 of the Atlantic, we had Toronto, Tampa Bay, and Florida in some position. Some capacity of the top 3.
We got that.
Yeah, we got that. Yeah.
Let's go.
So we'll say we're good there. I had the Bruins 4th. Bruins are 4th. You had the Bruins 4th as well. We had the Canadiens 5th. Obviously, that didn't happen.
Whoops.
Canadiens way below the Sabres. We both had the Sabres at the bottom, so we're good there. Ottawa and Detroit somewhere, in the 6 range. Well, yeah, Ottawa's 6th. So really, you just swap the Red Wings and Canadiens, and it actually looks pretty close for the Atlantic. We did pretty well there.
Look at us go.
Yeah. Go to the Metro here. I had Islanders, Hurricanes, Capitals. You had Islanders, Capitals, Hurricanes. It's actually Hurricanes, Rangers, Capitals. So we just got the wrong New York team, really.
Yeah.
We both had Rangers 4, though. They're currently 2nd in points percentage.
Okay, so not far off again.
Yeah. I had Pittsburgh 5. You had them 6. They're 4th. Blue Jackets are 5th in the division in points percentage. Jesus. Yeah, and we both had them at the bottom, so
okay,
off there. I had the Flyers in 7th, and that's where they are. So yeah, overall not bad. We kind of had the top 4.
Yeah,
top 4 or 5
for the most part.
So, moving on to the Central. Avalanche are currently number 1. We got that one. Minnesota number 2. Got that one. Nashville at number 3. We both had them 7th. So very surprised.
Sorry,
to see Seattle up there. Yeah, no kidding. Like,
Nashville's
coming out of nowhere. What's that?
I thought you said Seattle.
Oh, Seattle. No. We're not even in that division yet. Calm down.
No, that's what I thought you said. I was like, wait a second.
Oh, gotcha. I had the Jets 3rd. You had them 4th. They are 5th. So not great there, but they're still in the mix for sure. Yeah. I had the Blackhawks 5th. You had them 3rd. That did not age well with them being 7th.
No.
Which is essentially good for last in the division.
But they are coming back.
That's true. Yeah, they beat us, so
maybe.
I had the Stars 4th. You had them 6th. They're actually 6th. St. Louis 4th. What did I have them? 6th. You had them 5th. So not great, but and then Arizona last. Any prediction that had the Arizona Coyotes not last should not be taken seriously. So okay, now to the Pacific, the one we actually care about.
I'm gonna laugh if this is the one we fuck up the most. I don't even remember our predictions right now.
Yeah, we both had Vegas number 1. They have actually taken over that number 1 spot, even though they weren't there for a long time.
Yeah.
I had the Kraken last, which they are currently last. You had them 5th. The Ducks are 4th in terms of points percentage. We both had them 7th. So not looking too great.
That's not a bad thing that we didn't predict that right so far, though.
Yeah, exactly. Not mad about it.
Yeah.
We had the Oilers and Flames 2 and 3. Well, I had them 2 and 3. You had them 3 and 2. Flames ahead.
Yeah. It really could have gone either way.
Yeah. Flames are currently in third, so point Carter. Not that I'm happy about it. Edmonton is fifth. So I mean, we didn't expect them to be that bad. We expected them a little better there, but Canucks, I had fourth. You had them sixth. They are seventh. They're still seventh, even though they went on like what, a 10-game win streak.
They were that bad beforehand.
Oh boy, that's a tough look. 3-game losing streak for them right now, though. To be fair.
Yeah.
You had the Kings fourth. I had them fifth. They are second. So Kings coming in hot.
Yeah.
I think that's all the teams. We were kind of all over the place. Yep. Really,
our own division is the one that we're like everywhere.
Well, yeah, I had the top and the bottom. Everything in between is all fucky. You had the top, and that was about it. Yeah. I mean, you had the Canucks and the Sharks down there. They are down there. They're just not sixth and eighth like you have them. So not bad. Overall, we should be taken somewhat seriously. We had a few things there.
Yeah.
We had some of the obvious ones, I guess.
We kind of know our hockey.
Just a little bit.
Look at us go.
Yeah. I don't remember any of the other kind of hot takes we had for the season, but we have one of the ones we had was who's worse, Coyotes or Sabres? The right answer is both of them are awful.
Yeah.
So
the Canadiens are worse, I think.
Oh, they are. Shit. That's wild. Yeah, the bottom five. Bottom five in the NHL goes Buffalo at 28, Ottawa, Seattle, Arizona, and Montreal at 32.
You got to think at this point, Montreal's like, okay, just go for Shane Wright.
Yeah.
Like, don't even try at this point. Because also imagine picking first overall for a guy like Shane Wright in Montreal this year. Because that's where the draft is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're getting the first overall
pick.
100%. Like, I know that they say that the NHL draft isn't rigged, but come on. There's a lot of very convenient things that happen.
I mean, Arizona's right there too.
Yeah.
They are trying their damnedest to keep them in Arizona right now.
That's very true. So,
yeah.
But I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, the number 2 pick is going to be good, whoever that is as well. So,
yeah.
But no Shane Wright. We also predicted Calder winner. I remember saying Caulfield, followed by which. Sorry, that's not happening.
No.
I did say Zegras would be in the mix. He's definitely in the mix now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you said the same thing as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of, again, the obvious pick there. But no one really talked about Raymond. So.
No, I think he just kind of surprised a few people, maybe outside of Detroit. So.
Yeah, aside from the people that really
not a
followed
name
him,
that was really on our radar. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, we have other hot takes here on our old outline. I don't know what those would have been, but they were probably stupid. Yeah. So
I feel like one was like I had said Boston wasn't going to make the playoffs, even though they were in fourth. I think I said it was Atlantic teams were going to take it.
Oh, maybe.
Or Metro team. Yeah.
Yeah. You just got like this, weird vendetta
I think that was the one
Penguins and the Bruins. So
yeah.
Which Penguins and Bruins are wild card 1 and 2 right now. So
I don't get everything right, kids.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right.
So yeah, that's that. Just a little recap there. Basically, Ducks have pleasantly surprised us. I guess we can talk quickly about where the Ducks would normally, or kind of we can, if they go on the same pace, where they would be here. So with the Ducks having 45 points in their 41 games, if they continue on the same pace of a 549 points percentage, that puts them at 90 points, which normally is good to make the playoffs, especially in the NHL's weakest division. I think they should make it at that point.
I'm just pulling up on Money Puck the chances to make the playoffs here.
Yeah.
Playoff odds.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, like, obviously, and LA and Calgary have quite a few games in hand, and like LA has 45 points and they have 3 games in hand. Yes, Calgary is 5 points back, but they have 7 games in hand. So
yeah. The Anaheim Ducks currently have a 25.4% chance of making the playoffs.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, that's not bad odds.
To what you said, we were 4th, right?
Yeah.
For points percentage. Okay, compare that to Calgary. It was at 83.
Okay, yeah. When you put that in perspective there. What about LA? I'm curious about LA.
68.7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and ours was, sorry, what'd you say? 40?
25.4.
Oh, 25. Oh.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
we got some work to do. Yeah. Okay. How do we? Oh, stats. That's what I want. And then just very, very briefly, because I know we're going long here, just to talk about projected points here. Obviously, everybody's played a different number of games, being out with COVID and other injuries and stuff. But if we just do the easy math here and multiply everyone's points by 2, Troy Terry currently at 36 points, so should finish the season with 72 points.
I like that.
Not mad about that. And 44 goals. Like I said, when was the last time Ducks had a 40 goal scorer? I think we figured out it was
It was like
was
13.
it the 05?
No, it's
Was it 13? Was it? It wasn't that far back. Yeah.
Wasn't that far back. That's still like 8 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Trevor Zegras in 35 games played has 29 points, so should finish with 58, just shy of 30 there.
Yeah.
Carter, let's put it this way. The last time that the Ducks had a 40-goal season,
we were in high school.
We were in grade 10.
Yeah. I know.
If that puts it in a bit more perspective for you.
Yeah.
It's not great perspective, but it's perspective.
Yeah. Ryan Getzlaf, 33 games played, 22 assists. Again, just doing the simple math, should finish with 44 assists.
Nice.
Like, not mad about that. He has 24 points, so like, fuck, if Getzlaf hits 50 points, I'm a happy camper.
Yeah, that's good.
So, all right, we totally skipped over Milano as well. Should finish with around 50 points. He's on the same pace. So, yeah.
I like it.
So, yeah, I mean, we should have a lot of good guys, set some career highs in their very young seasons. And, the future looks bright. That's all we keep saying. Like, yes, this season might turn into a dumpster fire, but things are looking sunny in Anaheim here. So
there you go.
All right. Okay. What else we got to talk about here? I did promise Marcus we would talk about this trade suggestion here. So we talked about it in quite in detail last time, so we don't have to spend a ton of time. But Marcus, in a YouTube comment, I posted the video here of our discussion on trading for Jacob Chikrin from our last episode on YouTube, and Marcus, regular tuner in of our live streams, put a comment on here, which you guys can also do. And if it's not stupid, we'll read it on the air, like we're gonna do with Marcus's here. So he says, "Deal or no deal to Anaheim, Jacob Chikrin. That's it. To Arizona, the 2022 first round pick, Sasha Pastujov, Sam Steele, and Anthony Stolars. From a Ducks perspective, deal or no deal for this one?"
I'd be okay with that. Pastujov is a great prospect, but you're going to have to give up one to get Chikrin anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Steele, yeah, okay. Stolars, we have a year left of him anyways. From a Ducks perspective, I'd be okay with it. Arizona's not taking that though, unfortunately.
No, yeah, there's no way. Like you said, Pastujov is going to be a great player. Sam Steele, I think, could just use a change of scenery at this point. Like, we've developed him all right, but I just don't see a fit in this organization.
Yeah.
And with the rebuilding Coyotes, like, give him this nice young player that can play in the NHL and can kind of be flashy. Like, I think you could play well with Clayton Keller and those guys. But Pastujov is another player for them to be excited for. Stolars, yes, they need a backup goalie. The first is going to be nice, but like, the issue I think that Sporty brought up with Corey and Richie, I was going to say Sporty and Corey. the issue that Corey and Richie brought up is that they're not getting a defenseman back in this deal.
Yeah.
And Jacob Chychrun is the defenseman that they need. It's he's basically the reason people still go to Coyotes games at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, we have to give him a defenseman in this deal back. And I think that is the main reason that Arizona doesn't take this deal. So I think honestly, you take out Pastrujov and you put in like just a solid depth defenseman. Like,
yeah,
I don't want to say Lindholm, but like a guy like Lindholm that, like, yes, we could replace, but he can play in the NHL in a not to the level of Jacob Chychrun, but he's going to be a staple of your roster.
Yeah, exactly.
I think at that point, then you see some talks. So
yeah,
I don't know. Good starting point, Marcus.
Yeah,
is
I agree with it.
What I have to say. So
yeah,
but not there for Arizona. Again, from the Ducks' perspective, we take that all day. So okay, let's take a quick break. Again, we'll talk upcoming game and some what's quacking here, and then that'll be it.
He's my brother Mike.
He's my brother Matt.
And we are the Brothers of Discussion, hosting Red Wings Rant, where tirades and impassioned pleas about your Detroit Red Wings finally have a home.
We are here to be your audible Earl Grey, to bring joy, placidity, and perspective to one of the roughest eras in Red Wing history. Check us out every Monday and Thursday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
And check us out live every Wednesday and Sunday for Red Wings reactions and live conversations with you on our YouTube channel, The Brothers of Discussion.
Okay. Not looking good for upcoming games. With playing Colorado on Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time. So just
we like to play good against them, though. We like to play good against them, so maybe.
Just a heads up, we are going to be postponing our live stream that usually goes on at 7 Pacific to be after the game. Will be about 10 minutes after the final horn goes at the end of the third, or at the end of overtime or shootout if we're feeling brave.
Lucky.
Lucky, yeah. So yeah, not looking good. We do play Tampa Bay later on in the week, I think Friday as well. So we got a tough couple of home games coming up, but yeah, you're right. We do tend to show up for Colorado. Hopefully we'll have Gibson back at that point.
Yeah,
maybe Terry as well. That'll be nice. So
we should see what happens.
Yeah, what do you think? Do you think, like, I don't know what to think.
I think it just depends honestly on who we get back. If we're at like mostly full strength, sure, we got a chance, but otherwise I'm not feeling too confident, honestly.
Yeah, especially with the state of the defense. Like, obviously we're not going to get Fowler back. Our other defensemen that's out. Oh yeah, Mahura. I mean, yeah, really, we're just missing Fowler. So, man, you take Fowler out of our defense, and it looks tough, honestly. I guess Benoit is out as well. He usually fills in the third pairing with where Jacob Larson is, and he's been solid. Rough. So yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think missing Fowler really showed in the game against Chicago.
Yeah, it did.
Like we desperately need Fowler. So
yeah.
That makes me want to kind of go back on what I said about throwing Lindholm in for a trade with Chychrun. Yes, we're getting Chychrun, but like I think we also need Lindholm quite badly as well.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine a top four of Fowler, Chychrun, Lindholm, Drysdale? That's solid. I love that. You put Shattenkirk and Manson, Mahura, Gooley, whoever the fuck you want to throw in as that sixth guy. Like, no issues with that.
Yeah. No, I'd be good with that. Yeah.
But you take Fowler out of the roster we have right now, and
yikes.
Yeah. And with how offensive Colorado is, like, what, like, aren't they somewhere like they're just shy of like 5 goals a game or something like that over the
something
season?
like that? And again, I'm going to bring up Nazem Kadri again. This is our defense is going against a guy who is currently snubbed of an all-star position, who is on pace for, I believe, 130 points.
Yeah. Like, he's come out
That
of
doesn't
nowhere.
look good.
No. And we're talking about Nazem Kadri here.
And
Like,
that's not Nathan
like,
McKinnon.
maybe
That's not
the-
Cable Hedgeskog. That's
the-
not Cale Makar. That's not.
yeah, like Nazem Kadri is
Who
the
else?
5th best player on that team, and he's
Yeah.
on pace for 130 goddamn points. Oh man, like
I'm just gonna curl up into a ball and cry.
you said, we usually show up for this game against Colorado
Yeah.
because we know we got to put 150% into this game. But you look at the roster, and we're just gonna like our bottom 6 is gonna bleed chances,
Yeah.
and even our top line, like Raquel, Getzlaff, and Carrick, as that's not our top line, but that's a top 6 line. I'm sorry, you put that up against McKinnon, Rantanen, and I think is it Kadri on that line, or is Kadri with Rantanen on the second line? Doesn't fucking
Doesn't
matter.
matter.
You put it up against any one of those lines,
Yeah.
like that's
not a fun time.
that's gonna bleed chances. And then
Yeah.
like Comtois, Zegras, Letary as the other line. That's a young line.
Got potential.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Top line, Landeskog, McKinnon, Rantanen. There's nothing you can do there. Nikushkin, Kadri, Burakovsky. Sorry, there's nothing you can do there either. And then Comfer, Newhook, Obe Kubel, I believe is how it's pronounced, as your third line. That's a fast line. Our third line's not going to do anything against that. Curtis McDermott, Tyson Jost, Logan O'Connor. That's another heavy fourth line, but our fourth line's not going to be able to, generate any chances against them. Then you talk defense, Taves and Makar. Like
No.
Jack Johnson, Samuel Girard, Ryan Murray, Eric Johnson.
No.
Like that's no. And then I'm not even going to talk about the power play. Everyone knows what that power play is.
Yeah.
Like, yes, we're going to show up, but with how depleted our roster is right now, this is going to be probably like, let's say a 5-1 game.
Yeah. If we're lucky.
Maybe if we're lucky. If like I said, if we put
it has the potential to
150%
be
in.
bad, but it has the potential to be all right as well.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
We're just telling it as it is, or as
Yeah.
it is. Shout out to Griffin
There you
over
go.
there on that podcast. So it's
Well, yeah. Instead of dwelling on the possible probables in a few days, you want to hear about Drake a little bit?
yeah, I do.
All right.
Yeah.
I feel like this has been like one of our more negative episodes. It's like not even intended to be
In a
for
long
while.
time.
Yeah.
Also, just before we get into that, sorry, we've at the beginning of the season we were like Ducks 7th place in division. Anything else is a pleasant surprise. We've been wrong a lot this season about where the Ducks are going to be, and in all the ways we were like, Comtois was our only hope. He was awful, and then Zegras and Terry come out and they're like, "Hey, you forgot about us." Again,
Guess last
pleasant
maybe
surprise.
Slack, and he's got 30 points or something like that. Whatever.
So,
it was.
I
Yeah.
think that we're kind of like the anti-Ducks, well, anti-Ducks almost, like we're like
Unintentionally.
Ducks are going to like, this is how this is going to go against the Ducks. And then the exact opposite happens. So
Yeah.
by me saying 5-1 Ducks loss, it's actually probably going to be like a 7-0 Ducks win. Knock on wood.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Just saying. I'm still saying for the record, for, the hockey gods up there, 5-1 Ducks loss.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong.
All
Okay. What's quacking?
All right, so this is coming from Paper Magazine here that Drake may be in some legal trouble because of some hot sauce. So according to a gossip account called Too Much Hot Tea, the rapper hooked up with an unnamed Instagram model a few weeks ago. And after they went to a party, they went back to his place, smoked some weed, and had sex.
Yeah. First of all, nice for Drake, getting getting some from an Instagram model. Nice for unnamed Instagram model, being able to reel in Drake. Like,
Hold on now, though.
High five all around.
The
Okay.
model though had some ulterior motives though, where she went into the bathroom after, took the condom that Drake had disposed of, and tried to impregnate herself. However, though, Drake has this thing that he does apparently there was rumors about it, and now it's really coming out though.
Oh no. You said hot sauce when we started this. I know where this is going.
He will put hot sauce into his condoms after, he's done, so that it kind of prevents this.
Mm-hmm.
And so this girl, though, apparently not realizing there was hot sauce in it, though, tries to impregnate herself, and everything in the lower region is burning. And she is
That's
now
funny.
and she is now threatening to sue him.
Okay, hold up. You can't. No.
He took his baby batter that he was like, I'm putting a safeguard on this, and is threatening to sue him.
Yeah. First of all, that is a very smart move by Drake.
By Drake. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great move.
Yeah. Second of all, I have a question.
I'll try to answer.
Where does he keep the hot sauce?
He's probably got like a holster or something like that. It's like grade A leather.
Yeah, but like you don't notice that.
He's the guy who's like from like
does he keep it on?
Red commercials. He's like that guy who's just got the holster of it, and he just puts hot sauce on everything, right? And he's just like, yeah, and then you know what? I'm going to throw it into this condom too.
I would have 2 bottles of hot sauce if I was Drake. You have the one that you carry around with you to like restaurants and stuff, and you have the one that you put inside of the condoms. But
yeah.
But so, I mean, I was thinking he just, puts it in his, natural carrying bag. You know, we're talking like, yeah, way up there.
So it seems as though Drake has actually responded to this allegation or rumor coming out, though, with a post that said, "You can have your 15 minutes of fame. I'll take the other 23 hours and 45 minutes."
Oh, that's fire. I hope he puts that line in a song. Not that I listen to Drake, but if he did, I would listen to whatever song that is.
Please tell me that was intentional. That's fire. Hot sauce.
It wasn't. No.
So leading off with this, though, you and I are big fans of Joe Santagato, and he had a reaction to this as well. Which
no way.
I think he kind of clarifies. Or you could just do the talking for us, I think, because it was kind of the same things that went through my head as well. So I'll see. Yeah, I'll pull this up here.
Yeah. For everyone not familiar, this is the idiots of the internet and people a Walmart guy. So
yeah, and it's fantastic. So
I know the story about Drake putting hot sauce in his condom is kind of old now, but I just don't think we've highlighted enough how crazy this woman might be. Like, can we go over this for a second? Like, this psychotic woman went to Drake's house, had sex with him, and had a plan in her head like, I'm going to fish out the used condom and then shove it up inside me to try and get pregnant. As crazy as that is, that's not even the tip of the iceberg here. She claims afterwards that there was hot sauce in the used condom, and now she's like suing him because she put it inside her and then it like caused burning or whatever. And we're all sitting here just like laughing at that. Do you guys realize what had to happen for that to happen? Guys, hot sauce is most of the time red or bright orange or green. So that means this woman walked up to a used condom that had either green or a bright red or orange color in it and was like, yeah, oh yeah, and then put it in. Like, what did she was like, oh, he may be bleeding and coming at the same time. What did you think happened in there? Green? What do you think? What is he, Shrek? Not only that, but the smell. Hot sauce has a smell, and it's very pungent. What did you think? You think Drake's cum smells like Tapatio? Is no one scared? I'm scared.
I mean, to be fair, if I ever needed to be in the situation where I'm pulling a used condom out of the trash, I am not smelling it. That's not my first thought.
That's fair. But even then, I don't even think you have to put your nose up to it. Hot sauce has a very prominent smell.
I guess. Yeah. More prominent than, as you put it, baby batter.
Yeah, 100%.
Just the general, post-sex stank.
Yeah, I think so.
Happens. Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, I've been like I'm not normally like a hot food kind of guy, but I've been throwing like Cajun spice and like chili sauce and that on like all my chicken and rice this week. I think I'm going to have to take a break from that now, though, after this news. No, can't do it.
Just can't, like, you just associate hot sauce with
Drake's baby batter. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
It is what it is now. So
yeah. I just speaking in general, I always find it weird when like people are like, yeah, like or like I'm worried about people, taking my used condom and then like trying to impregnate themselves with it. Like,
Yeah.
I've never had that worry, but just like in general, people having that worry. I'm like, how does one go about doing that? Like, do you take it to the bathroom and then like,
Dude, okay, like, I'm just
do
gonna
a
stop you there. No, I'm just gonna
like,
stop you there. No. You're not going down this road today.
I just want people to think about the logistics, and you can DM me the logistics at Carter_Potts POTTS_97, because logistically I just can't figure it out. Like, yeah, I agree. We shouldn't discuss this. I think we've already kind of pushed the line here of what we can talk about, or what we're comfortable talking about. But.
Is this back-to-back episodes now of like you making me feel uncomfortable and me wanting to stop the show?
Yeah, it is. I don't even remember what happened last time.
The Kodak Black stuff last time.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe you shouldn't bring people having sex to What's Quacking.
It's entertaining.
Honestly, this is
it is
not
on
to
me.
victim. Not to victim blame here, but it's on you.
Like,
yeah.
It's on me, but there's also a line. We do cross that line normally, you and I, especially.
Yeah.
But like, there's times where it's like there's crossing the line. There's getting into the end zone, and then there's running out into the parking lot.
Yeah. Okay. I see your point. Get to the end zone, celebrate.
Yeah.
Go back to your own 35. Gotcha.
Exactly. Just like this Instagram model should have done as well. She got to the end zone. She got it on with Drake and then decided to put hot sauce into her.
Okay. So let me just say, I don't need the birds and the bees talk, but I just have a lot of questions. And if somebody could DM me, again, at Carter_Potts POTTS_97, I'd just love to have a conversation.
Well, you see, Carter, when a man loves his hot sauce very much. Oh. All right, you cannot send that kind of stuff to me at Tatenhomas, TATENHOMAS on Twitter.
Yeah, I think Nate needs puppies and, cat memes and stuff like that right now. So
puppies, just send me puppies.
Yeah.
Send me puppies.
Yeah. As well, keep at Quack Report Pod, very, PG-13, we'll say. But that's where you can chat with us as well. Thank you guys very much for listening at HockeyPodNet for the rest of the network and what's going on there. And we will see you guys Wednesday.